Guys, welcome to Unacademy. This course is the first in the series of courses which make up the full stack web specialization. My name is Uchin Dwivedi. I'm a blogger, writer, developer. I'm a computer science and information technology student at Symbiosis University of Applied Sciences. I was also a co-founder and developer at Afterlife, which was an organ donation campaign. Okay, so this is the basic overview of our course. In our web development series, we are going to cover the main 5 languages. The first is the HTML, second is CSS, third is JavaScript, fourth is PHP, and fifth is MySQL, right? And in the first part, we are going to take HTML and CSS, in which we are going to cover all this topic. So basically HTML and CSS, we cover the designing part of our website, right? Okay, so this is the overview of our course. Okay, so before introducing you to the HTML and CSS, let me tell you what a complete web application consists of. Well, a web application consists of 3 sides. The first is the server side, second is the client side, and the third is the database. Okay, so you can see here the database is a place where all the data of our website is stored. It may be the username, it may be the password, and all the other details that are related to the user, and all the data of the website will be stored in our database. Okay, so this is the main use of database. Now second is the server side. Okay, so we can see that the relation or the area between our internet browser and the server is known as the server side, right? And the interaction between your web browser and the server will be done through server side scripting languages that are C#, which is .NET, ASP, Java, Python, PHP, etc. In the same way, you can see the client side. Now the area between the internet browser and the user, right? So whoever is using the website, so the interaction between the internet browser and the user will be done through these client side scripting languages, and which are HTML, CSS, and JavaScript related languages. Okay, so in this way a complete web application consists of 3 sides, right? Now we are coming to our main topic, which is HTML and CSS. Now HTML means the hypertext markup language. So basically it's a markup language, right? And it uses the text. It uses the text to identify the content on the page, right? So you can see if you want to write a code, you have to use the opening tags and closing tags in your HTML document, right? So here are the opening tag, and here is the closing tag with a /, right? And whenever you are saving a file after writing the code, the file extension that you will use is .html or .htm. Okay, so this is the basic view of HTML. In the same way, CSS is the cascading style sheets. It's nothing but it controls the looks and feel of our web document. That is, it gives a better presentation and better looks for our HTML documentation, right? And in the same way, when we save a CSS file, we will use the .css file extension. Okay, so in this way CSS is used to make our HTML document look better, and okay, and we can simply present an HTML document in a better way using CSS, right? Okay, so you can see here that the relation between HTML and CSS. Now HTML and CSS both work together, right? As you can see in the example that here are the HTML pages, right? And behind HTML pages there are maybe single or multiple CSS files are linked. Okay, so in this way we can see that multiple CSS files or multiple code of CSS file can be linked with a single HTML document, right? In this way CSS simply defines the elements of the HTML, so how they will be displayed in your web page. Okay, and that's why the contribution of both the CSS and HTML in designing a web page is very important, right? So this is the relation between HTML and CSS, right? Now for a complete modern web application, right, for designing a modern web application, you will be needing these 5 languages, right? The first is the HTML, second is CSS, third is JavaScript, fourth is PHP and similar languages, and fifth is MySQL for the database, right? With the help of all these languages, you can simply make your own web application. Now the HTML will cover the structure part of your web application. For the better presentation, you will be using the CSS. Now to give your web application a soul, or to manage the behavior of your web application, you will be using the JavaScript. In the same way, you will be using PHP and similar languages for backend, that is the server side interaction with the browser. Okay, and in the same way we'll use the database, which is MySQL. Now the above 3 are the client side scripting language languages and are done through the client-side scripting languages, and the bottom two are done through server-side scripting languages like PHP, ASAP, and we can use any of the languages, but using all of these can make a complete modern web application, right? So here you can see an example, right? On the left, on the right, you can see this is a simple HTML designed web page. Okay, so after designing a web page using HTML, you will see something like this. Okay, but after applying CSS to our web page, your web page will look like this. Okay, so you can see there's a big difference, and when we use CSS with our HTML document. Okay, so that's why the work of CSS and HTML is very important in designing a web page. Okay, so both of them are very important. Now we can see here the basic structure of our HTML document. So this is the basic structure that we will be using in writing our code of HTML, right? So first of all, you can see I've used the doc type HTML, which is the documentation type, right? So this is just used for declaration that which version of HTML we are using. For the doc type HTML is used for the HTML5 version, right? The main HTML coding is start from the root element, which is the HTML opening and HTML closing tag, right? So first of all, for starting your HTML document, you will be writing the opening HTML tag and closing HTML tag, and all other code will come under this section, right? Now the second tag you can see here is head tag, right? Here is the head opening tag and here is the head closing tag, right? Now whatever link of the CSS file or the JavaScript file, whatever link you give to your HTML document, all of them will come under head section, right? Okay, so in this way we'll be using the head section for giving the links to our HTML document, for applying the style to our HTML document. Okay, also I've used a title, right? So if you want to give your web page a title, you will also use the title tag in the head section, right? So in this way we can use the head section and the title tag, right? Now the other you can see is the body tag, right? This is the body section, and whatever content which is visible on your web page will be there in your body section. Okay, so whatever you will see in your web page, okay, then all of them will be there in our body section. And here you can see this is the opening tag of body tag, it is the opening tag of body element, and this is the closing tag, right? So in this way we write a basic HTML structure. Okay, so here you can see this is a simple diagram with, you can see the basic structure of your HTML page, right? Now what are the basic things required before starting, right? So for writing a basic HTML and CSS code, we need a simple notepad, which may be your official notepad, which is there with your operating system. Well, you can use notepad, notepad++. Okay, you can use the Macintosh official notepad, right? I'll be using the brackets and notepad++. Okay, for demonstration of code. Okay, you can use any of them, it's all up to you. Okay, so these are the basic things, and also you will be using a internet browser, which is very important. I'll be using Google Chrome for them. Okay, so in this way you can use any of the notepad and any internet browser. Okay, so the last thing that you can see here, how to link a CSS file with our HTML. Okay, so this is just a basic overview. We are going to study it completely in our upcoming lectures, but you can see here for we can link CSS file in three ways with our HTML document, right? The first is the inline way, second is the internal way, and the third is the external way. Well, I would say external way is the most recommended one, and we will be using the external way to link our HTML files. Okay, so here you can see that this is my style, and this is the inline way of giving the link to our HTML, right? In the same way, this is the internal way, and this is the external way. Okay, in external way we simply make another file of our CSS and simply give a link to our CSS file. Okay, so in this way we can link our CSS with our HTML file, right? So I think this is all for our first video. This is the basic of our HTML and CSS. Okay, we learned about the basic structure. I hope you all like this video. Please comment on it. Please tell me if there's any scope for improvement. Thank you very much. Please let us know your opinion. Thank you very much.